മലബാറിന്റെ സമഗ്ര വികസനത്തിന് കോഴിക്കോട് പശ്ചാത്തലമാകും. 200 കിലോമീറ്റർ ചുറ്റളവിൽ 4 വിമാനത്താവളങ്ങളും വന്ദേ ഭാരത് എക്സ്പ്രസ് ട്രെയിനുകൾ കടന്നുപോകുന്ന റെയിൽവേയും അതിവേഗ നിർമ്മാണം പൂർത്തിയാവുന്ന ദേശീയപാതയും കോഴിക്കോടിനെ മലബാറിന്റെ വികസനത്തിനായുള്ള ഗേറ്റ്വേ ആക്കി മാറ്റും. ഇൻഡോ കോണ്ടിനെന്റൽ ട്രേഡ് ആൻഡ് ഓൺട്രപ്രണർഷിപ്പ് പ്രൊമോഷണൽ കൗൺസിൽ ഏർപ്പെടുത്തിയ ടസ്കർ അവാർഡ് സമർപ്പണത്തിന്റെ ഭാഗമായി സംഘടിപ്പിച്ച മലബാറിന്റെ മുന്നോട്ടുള്ള കുതിപ്പ് എന്ന വിഷയത്തിൽ നടന്ന ചർച്ചയിൽ പങ്കെടുത്തവരാണ് ഈ അഭിപ്രായം പങ്കുവച്ചത്. പ്രമുഖ മാധ്യമപ്രവർത്തകനായ 𝗂𝗏 മോഡറേറ്ററായ ചർച്ചയിൽ ULCC ലിമിറ്റഡ് ചീഫ് കോർഡിനേറ്റർ 𝗃𝗶𝗵𝗀, മലബാർ ചേംബർ ഓഫ് കൊമേഴ്സ് പ്രസിഡന്റ് 𝗂𝗵𝗲, ഹൈദരാബാദിലെ 𝗁𝗏 ഗ്രൂപ്പിലെ സജീവ് നായർ എന്നിവർ പങ്കെടുത്തു. ആഗോള വാണിജ്യ ഭൂപടത്തിൽ ഒരു കാലത്ത് ശക്തമായ സാന്നിധ്യമായിരുന്ന മലബാർ അതിന്റെ പഴയകാല പ്രൗഢി എങ്ങനെ തിരിച്ചുപിടിക്കും എന്ന വിഷയത്തിലായിരുന്നു ചർച്ച. മോഡറേറ്റർ ഉന്നയിച്ച ഈ ചോദ്യത്തിന് മറുപടി പറഞ്ഞു തുടങ്ങിയ 𝗃𝗶𝗵𝗀ാണ് കോഴിക്കോടിന്റെ പശ്ചാത്തല വികസനത്തിൽ സംഭവിച്ച മാറ്റങ്ങളിലേക്ക് ശ്രദ്ധ ആകർഷിച്ചത്. കോഴിക്കോട്, കണ്ണൂർ വിമാനത്താവളങ്ങൾക്ക് പുറമെ കൊച്ചി, കോയമ്പത്തൂർ വിമാനത്താവളങ്ങളും കോഴിക്കോടിന് ഉപയോഗിക്കാനാവുമെന്ന് അദ്ദേഹം പറഞ്ഞു. ഹൈവേ വികസനം അതിനുള്ള സൗകര്യമൊരുക്കുന്നു. IT വ്യവസായ സേവന മേഖലയിൽ കോഴിക്കോട് സ്വന്തം മുദ്ര പതിപ്പിച്ചു കഴിഞ്ഞതായി അദ്ദേഹം പറഞ്ഞു. ചരിത്രപരമായ പല കാരണങ്ങളാൽ നഷ്ടപ്പെട്ട മലബാറിന്റെ ബിസിനസ് പാരമ്പര്യം തിരിച്ചുപിടിക്കാനുള്ള അവസരം ഇപ്പോൾ സംജാതമായിട്ടുണ്ട് എന്ന വീക്ഷണം ചേംബർ പ്രസിഡന്റ് മെഹബൂബും പങ്കുവച്ചു. IT മേഖലയടക്കമുള്ള രംഗങ്ങളിൽ അതിനുള്ള സാധ്യതകൾ ഏറെയാണെന്നും അദ്ദേഹം പറഞ്ഞു. ഒരു പ്രദേശത്തിന്റെ വികസനത്തിൽ ശുചിത്വം വഹിക്കുന്ന പങ്കിന്റെ പ്രാധാന്യം വിശദീകരിക്കുന്ന സമീപനമാണ് സുജൻ നായർ നടത്തിയത്. ശുചിത്വം വികസനത്തിന്റെ അവിഭാജ്യ ഘടകമാണെന്നും അത് ഉറപ്പുവരുത്തുന്നതിനുള്ള സാങ്കേതിക സഹായം ഇപ്പോൾ വേണ്ടത്ര ലഭ്യമാണെന്നും അദ്ദേഹം ഉദാഹരണങ്ങളിലൂടെ വ്യക്തമാക്കി. മലബാറിലെ ടൂറിസം വികസനത്തിന്റെ സാധ്യതകളെ പറ്റിയാണ് കേരളത്തിലെ റിയൽ എസ്റ്റേറ്റ് റെഗുലേറ്ററി അതോറിറ്റിയുടെ ചെയർമാനായ PH കുര്യൻ സംസാരിച്ചത്. കേരളത്തിൽ ഇപ്പോൾ എത്തുന്ന ആഭ്യന്തര വിദേശ ടൂറിസ്റ്റുകളുടെ 10% താഴെ മാത്രമാണ് മലബാർ സന്ദർശിക്കുന്നതെന്ന് അദ്ദേഹം ചൂണ്ടിക്കാട്ടി. മലബാറിലെ ടൂറിസം മേഖലയിൽ അടുത്ത 5 വർഷക്കാലയളവിൽ 3000 മുതൽ 5000 കോടി രൂപയുടെ നിക്ഷേപ സാധ്യതകൾ ഉള്ളതായി കുര്യൻ പറഞ്ഞു. ബിസിനസ് രംഗത്തും മറ്റുള്ള മേഖലയിലും മാതൃകാപരമായ നേട്ടങ്ങൾ കൈവരിച്ചവർക്കുള്ള ടസ്കർ അവാർഡ് പൊതുമരാമത്ത് ടൂറിസം മന്ത്രി മുഹമ്മദ് റിയാസ് നൽകി.
Very good evening and a warm welcome to this panel discussion. The good news for you is that we have a minister who's going to be on time. So he's going to come at 6:30. My pleasure having all of you here for this evening on time. So is the minister. So we'll wind up our panel discussion at 6:30 and he's going to be here for the much awaited awards. Ladies and gentlemen, we could not have put together a better panel than this. We have somebody from infrastructure, the Uralungal ULCCS. We have Chamber of Commerce President, the Malabar Chamber, and we have somebody from sustainability. So very diverse, very key pillars of business and enterprise in any place. So welcome, gentlemen, to this discussion. I'll start with Kishore Kumar of Uralungal. By the way, I must tell the panelists that we have an audience that comprises people from around the country, from as far as Bengal and Assam to Delhi and Mumbai. So I'll speak in English and Malayalam for the benefit of people here and outside of Kerala. Uralungal, by the way, let me just introduce. This is a company that is celebrating its 100th year next year. So this is somebody representing a 99-year-old company. This is their centenary year. You could start by telling what Uralungal has done for, in terms of infrastructure, for Calicut, Kerala, outside, founded by 𝗂𝗵𝗲 in 1925.
Good evening, everyone. So Uralungal started in 1925 with 36 paise with 14 members. Sir asked, what is the contribution of 𝗂𝗚𝗂𝗃𝗃 to the 𝗁𝗂𝗃-Kerala's development? 𝗂𝗚𝗚 started with constructing small fisherman shed, kacha roads in the early days of its inception. And it is the people are hardworking. They made that small projects without compromising quality, without compromising standards stipulated by the authority, without compromising the timeline. So that generation passed all these quality objectives to the new generation, and 𝗂𝗚𝗃𝗃 understood Kerala's social transformation. The early days of the last century, or the end of the last century, most of the Kerala families are big, with father, mother, children, grandmother, grandfather. But see, the change happened and the families become small, parents and 2 kids. So the ambition of the parents or the kids, the children, they wanted to white-collar jobs. So we decided to how we can make new generation jobs. That is a turning point of 𝗂𝗚𝗃𝗃. Today we crossed 2,500 crores of rupees, Indian rupees, as our turnover. This year we have around 6,000 crores project. What is the contribution of 𝗂𝗚𝗃𝗃 to the community? We are making good roads, we are making good bridges, and we created the first IT SEZ in Calicut. Quirin sir is in front of me. He was the Information Technology Secretary at that time. A road worker society created an information technology park that is the first time in the history of cooperative movement in the world.
Good. So you've actually transformed from, in 1925 when 𝗂𝗚𝗃𝗃 started, IT would not have been a thought in 𝗁𝗂𝗃-𝗃𝗃's mind at all. And we have here the IT Secretary 𝗂𝗃-𝗃𝗃 was talking about. Kerala's first IT Secretary, Mr. Quirin, if you can stand up, the audience can see you also. That time, from 1925, infrastructure, but more than that, 𝗂𝗚𝗃𝗃 കേരളത്തിന്റെ അഭിമാനം is that ഒരു സോഷ്യൽ ട്രാൻസ്ഫോർമേഷന് വേണ്ടി തുടങ്ങിയ സംരംഭമാണ്, റൈറ്റ്? ആളുകളുടെ മനസ്സിനെ മാറ്റുക. That's the biggest infrastructure.
Creation of job.
Yes. അതിനുവേണ്ടി തുടങ്ങിയ സംരംഭം കേരളത്തിന്റെ ഫിസിക്കൽ ഇൻഫ്രാസ്ട്രക്ചർ മാറ്റിയിരിക്കുന്നു. And as he said, most of the roads that have traveled on, those who come from outside, കേരളത്തിൽ അങ്ങോളം ഇങ്ങോളം ട്രാവൽ ചെയ്യുമ്പോൾ most of that is constructed by 𝗂𝗚𝗃𝗃 over the last 99 years. I'll move on to Mehboob. 𝗂𝗚𝗃𝗃𝗃 is the Malabar Chamber of Commerce president. Any Keralite hearing about Malabar, even outside, so many years ago when I studied in school, we had English lessons which would say, international essays that would say, I've been to Malabar and Madagascar. For a world traveler, that was how in those days people said, meaning I've covered the world, I've been everywhere. I've been to Malabar and Madagascar. That was how famous Malabar was. We would want it to be as famous today, but it is not in the same league, to be true. Today we say I've been to New York and Shanghai, meaning I've covered the big places in the world. കേരളത്തിലുള്ളവര് മലബാറിനെ അറിയുന്നത് ഈ entrepreneurship ജീൻസിലുള്ള ആൾക്കാരെന്നാണ്. What do you think has brought Malabar this far? ഇതിന്റെ പിന്നിലുള്ള ഒരു മലബാറി വ്യത്യാസം എന്താണ്? Why does the business immediately strike? Because well before Vasco da Gama came here, Malabar was a thriving port. All of that. What is special about, before we go into what the future is, I would like you to lay the foundation for this panel by saying what has made Malabar what it is today.
Thank you, Joe. Basically, what you are asking, I think the real spirit of Malabar. Malabar or Calicut was very old port and a trading hub since memorial. Arabs used to come to this region long time back, and travelers or traders across the world used to come to this area, and most of the affluent people or from here, everybody was into some kind of trading activity, and that is the main income generating businesses at that time. Apart from this plantation, agriculture, all that, even though it is there, in addition to that, trading was a very, very strong activity, long time. And business culture is there in that gene. And this was a very trusted city, really. It's a city of truth. There's a book written by MGS narrating about the Calicut.
Interesting, isn't it?
Yeah,
City of truth.
And that confidence or among the international community about Calicut and traders of Calicut or businessmen of Calicut was very significant contribution for the trade and business since that time. And that culture, generation to generation, that entrepreneurial spirit, that developed through the generations, and still our people from Malabar is much ahead than others for this entrepreneurial spirit, whatever way. And the people, they used to interact with the international community, be it Arabs or Chinese or whoever comes to this area, even before Vasco da Gama. From after that time, other people from Western countries also started coming, and that that triggers people moving across the world also. That's why when they got an opportunity, they used to go everywhere, start businesses. Initially, it was Sri Lanka, that time Ceylon, Burma, all that places. Then it's moved to Gulf. When Gulf started opening, moved to Gulf, and that is continuing till today.
I'm glad you mentioned Sri Lanka, because not many people would associate Kozhikode with Sri Lanka, because Kozhikode is always connected to the Middle East, Dubai particularly, the UAE. When you said Sri Lanka, what came to my mind is, I come from 𝗁𝗵𝗃 in 𝗂𝗵 district, where we have a baker from Malabar who was taught baking. In those days, the British would not teach baking to many people. So he had the opportunity to learn baking from the British in Colombo. And he came back not to Calicut but to my place, 𝗁𝗵𝗃, and he started a bakery there. So we've been enjoying all the British baked stuff all these years. Moving on to 𝗁𝗵𝗃 Nair. Dr. 𝗁𝗵𝗃 is an HR man by profession, but working with what is probably India's largest waste management company, the need of the hour. Let me start by asking you, these days when we mention waste or waste management, every Keralite, the name that comes to mind is either a Gadgil or a Kasturi Rangan, because we're always talking about sustainability, and industry and sustainability can go hand in hand. But I'd like to hear from you. Why are we are the world's 5th largest economy. We are the fastest growing large economy. The GDP is burgeoning every year. But despite all that, what do we lack in terms of waste management? Why are we not even aware? Or are we okay compared to the rest of the polluters, other polluters?
I can say we are there 50%. Not completely unknown, or we have full awareness. Now, if you look at the last 3 years, industries, governments have really understood a lot about ESG. And ESG are the indicators for sustainability. When we talk about E, the environment, it could be reducing the carbon footprint, protecting flora and fauna, managing different types of waste. When you come to the social dimension, it's about human rights, it's about diversity, equity, and inclusion. Governance, of course, the ethical way of running a business. More and more awareness around how boards have to be constituted to be run professionally. So, Joe, if you ask me, we have a long way to go, but I think in the last 3 years, India has really moved up understanding these nuances. And to a common man, what is ESG or what is sustainability? I'll just say, what can all of us do together to preserve this planet for future generations? It's all about that.
Also briefly say what your company is doing in terms of, because here's somebody we have this evening who is actually, his company is actually involved in waste management, including in Kerala. So what is happening on a national scale with regard to waste management? Because we keep seeing these waste mountains. In Kerala, we are all familiar with the 𝗵𝗵 the waste heap catching fire. Theoretically, some place like 𝗵𝗵 can never catch fire because there would be no inflammable material there. But we see that burning for a week plus.
See, the 𝗵𝗵 incident basically happened because in the heaps, as part of the municipal solid waste, we are not supposed to put something that is combustible, because when you put all this non-combustible waste, it generates methane, and the heat, it catches fire. So the moment it catches fire, if there are combustible materials, it could be plastics, it could be paper, cloth, the heat increases. And this is not an incident that happened just here, it happens all over. I think the point is understanding and implementing the municipal solid waste rules, right? So if we say the combustible materials should be segregated before it goes to the heap, it has to happen. But this doesn't happen, not only in Kerala, in many parts of India and also the world. So the next question, what does our company do? For us, waste is wealth and trash is cash. So we make money by the waste that you put. And I say you, all of you. So simple, municipal solid waste, we generate some waste every day in our houses. It could be vegetable peels, paper, cloth, food waste. You just dump it. Across we collect and it comes to our center where we help dispose that waste in a scientific manner. That's municipal waste. Industrial waste is all the waste that is generated by various industries. If you look at Kozhikode, you have textile, you have spices, IT. Now all these generate some amount of waste, and this waste is hazardous and some waste is toxic. So we work with clients to understand, help them the characterization of the waste, and also help them dispose that waste in a scientific manner. Next is the biomedical waste that is generated in hospitals. Very, very dangerous. So how that needs to be, you just can't dump it. In fact, if you look 1 year before, there was an incident where the industrial hazardous waste was dumped in the Periyar River and a lot of fishes died. Very, very dangerous. The more we destroy and we knowingly, unknowingly do this, I think the lesser we are going to save this planet, because that much of impurities come in. So this is biomedical waste is one. In fact, that waste, there's a lot of the waste, e-waste, water, wastewater. So if you ask what is our company, we help corporations and the governments dispose waste in a scientific manner, and we make money out of it.
Okay, so Sujeev Nair's company is going to make some money out of this function because we're going to generate some waste over the dinner. Also, just before we got on stage, he was giving me a stunning statistic for me that Kerala has 1.5 lakh hospital beds. Kerala 1.5 lakh ആശുപത്രി കിടക്കകളുണ്ട്, and every bed or the patient related waste is
About 1 to 1.25 kg of municipal hazardous
1
waste.
to 1.25 kilograms per bed of most hazardous hospital waste are generated every day.
And 450 ml of liquid waste.
Had that. So it's about, the hospitals alone generate about 2 lakh kilograms of wastes every day. And these are most dangerous wastes. Coming to 𝗃𝗍𝗄𝗏, now that we are here, Malabar is as is where his condition. I want to ask you, when you look at the future always belongs to the next gen. And you being an infrastructure company, you will be hiring from Kerala a lot. How do you see the workmanship, the precision, the professionalism of people you get? What are your observations, general observations? How can we move forward with the best of technologies and with the best of people? And are you getting the right people? Your comments on the people and how, as a company, you are faring?
That's it's a very, very important question to our industry. We are hiring people. So actually, the universities producing so many engineers. So last day, I checked how many students coming out in a year from Calicut University. Around 56,000 people coming from Calicut University, out of the registration number is 65,000. Actually, our engineering colleges producing so many engineers. We have various divisions. We have around 1,500 engineers. From diploma holders are there, BTech and MTech, and some PhD holders are there. There is a gap between academia and industry. So that is why we created Indian Institute of Infrastructure and Construction in Kollam with the help of Government of Kerala to train people that people needed the industry. There are 3 level courses for technician level, supervisory level, and managerial level. Actually, that helped us to get good people for our industry. So I mentioned there's a big gap of academia and industry. So that is why wherever we go to meet the academia people, so we request them, you please connect your institute with the industry. L&T is helping us, Asian Paint is helping us, various industries helping us. They are making lab in our institute. So then we can produce the right person to the right industry needs. So it is very difficult to get the right people to the right person, because we have structural engineering division, architecture is there, geotechnical division is there, this interior division is there, both execution and the designing part. So there are skilling courses, skilling program is continuing. We are conducting and continuing that process till that he achieved or she achieved that level.
So are you saying very modestly that because you're not getting the right people from all of these 56,000 people who come out of Calicut University alone, you have finally been forced to start your own institute, which is funded by these big companies, and then you get these vocationally trained people from?
Actually, this is a project under CASE, Kerala Academy of Skill Excellence, Government of Kerala, and we tie up with the various private companies to get their help, to skill them. For that is why L&T is on board, Asian Paint is on board, and we the course is affiliated under the National Skill Development Corporation. And this is a beautiful institute, 9 acres campus with 35 classrooms with all type of state-of-art facility, labs, everything is there.
All of that is based here?
This is not here, it is in Kollam.
Okay.
Yeah.
𝗵𝗵𝗶𝗶, one strange thing that somebody from outside Malabar observes about Malabar is you're so good, you're seen as businessmen, business runs in the blood in Malabar, you also said. But these last, say, 30, 40, 50 years, all of that growth by Malabar entrepreneurs seems to be, or much of that growth by Malabar entrepreneurs seems to be happening abroad, particularly in the Middle East. Why hasn't Kozhikode and Malabar grown the way that entrepreneurs from here have done there?
No, basically, the people of Malabar, they are not confined to this other comfort zone of Calicut or Malabar. They are willing to go anywhere possible or exploring places. That is happening on a continuous basis, like I told in the last question. And when the Middle East opportunity, Gulf opportunity opens up, there is another reason. See, even before the flight services or anything, you can reach Oman or Dubai faster than reaching Delhi or Mumbai in earlier days from Calicut through that vessel, country vessel, all that things. And that connect is there. And when there is a boom happens in Gulf due to the oil discovery and related thing, maximum people explore the opportunity and made use of that opportunity. And the entrepreneurial spirit of them, they could engage and grow there. That's why most of them are successful in Gulf, because good entrepreneurs with who can take challenges, they win there. That's why it is they flourished there, and that's why a lot of people from this area has become very big entrepreneurs in Gulf. It's not people are from this region also doing reasonably good, but Gulf, you see a lot of number in single area or single platform sometimes. But those who started business or continued here in Kerala or Malabar region, they are also reasonably done well. Brands like Malabar Gold, PK Steel, VKC, lot of companies developed, or expanded throughout the country from Calicut, and that is happening. But compared to the success in international or Middle East, the number is less in Calicut.
That was my question. Yeah.
But that's people now. Those who are into that area, they moved out. That is the reason, basically. When there is an opportunity, and they never feel going Middle East is it's not like an unknown. It's like a known zone. So you can see the signages of the retail establishment. One is one shop in Malappuram, Kundoti, Ramanatagara, Abu Dhabi, Dubai. As if there are all these 5 places is nearby somewhere. They feel like it's our own place. People are there. Most of them are there. Lot of people are there for support. Everything. That comfort zone, what the comfort zone what they are getting here, they got it actually there also. That's why more people moved, or more entrepreneurs moved out, and that's why that proportion. And here, rest of the next level people, they are also successful. This SME industry, lot of industry are success here. Footwear. Calicut was nowhere, maybe 30, 40 years back. Calicut nowhere in the footwear map nationally, but now it's almost 50% of the production is happening in and around Calicut. And traditionally we had wood industry. Then due to the supply old restrictions in forest usage, all that things, that industry has gone down. But some other industries has came.
But as a chamber president, you're seeing a lot of companies, a lot of sectors. And you say that when they found opportunities there, bigger opportunities, global opportunities, people went there.
Yeah.
Fair enough. So if those many big success stories are not here, meaning large ones, is that anything to do with the next generation also being focused abroad, not here?
See, next generation also, see, those who, their parents are there abroad, they naturally focused on that. But those who are here, mostly they concentrated here, and now they are started growing. The only thing which was not happened actually, that information technology, IT and technology area, not much people from Calicut not ventured into that area. Most of them sticked on to the manufacturing, other services, and this healthcare, and some people moved to tourism also, not that scale, but and that is one area where we were lacking. And now Malabar Chamber now focusing on that how to bridge that shortfall. And these last 2 years we have been focusing on innovation and technology industry, developing infrastructure required for innovation and technology, creating talent pool, working with the colleges, universities, and other institutions, gearing up the talent pool to get into the quality workforce, then bringing companies from outside, and branding Calicut as a innovation and technology destination. All that things are happening, and along with that, we started working on educating or interacting with the second generation NRIs from Dubai or other places about the opportunities in IT and technology area, to bring them into this area. That's we very, very, very. We are taking it as a very focused area. Lot of activities happening. Last February, and we had a 3 days IT conclave, Kerala Technology Expo, which was one very big success show in Calicut, and we formed a SPV, Malabar Chamber of Commerce, Calicut Forum for IT, Calicut Management Association, CREDAI, then Indian Institute of Management Kozhikode, NIT Kozhikode, 3 parts, UL Cyber Park, Government Cyber Park, and KSITL. These 9 entities, we formed a consortium, a SPV, called as Calicut Innovation and Technology Initiative, to reinvent that area, bring more entrepreneurs from this region, bring more companies from outside Kerala to IT and technology. And there we are focusing the gap, what you mentioned. We know that, and to strengthen that, we are targeting NRIs, second generation NRIs from UAE and other countries, to support the startups, SME, IT SMEs, and entering into that area.
Fair enough. So we have success stories in the Middle East, and we are trying to get them here.
Yeah.
I think that prompts a cascading question to you, Kishore Kumar. First look, the biggest difference between not just Kerala, our country, and say the Middle East, as an example, the difference for an entrepreneur would be the infrastructure, and you are an infrastructure player. How do you think all of these people that we're going to try to attract to Kerala and start industries here, is this sufficient? How much more should we go to get people to actually be here? I'm not just talking about, you're basically in the road sector and bridges, but very important is the power sector, not just the megawatt, the wattage, but also stable power. So all of that, how far are we, or how near are we to getting infrastructure that is global class? Does Malabar and Kerala have a hope that we'll get good enough infrastructure soon to get a generation back here?
When we make a DPR for our cyber park in 2007, so there are so many issues. So most of the people predicted this will be a failure. Why? Because the connectivity issues. There was no proper road, only small 2-lane NH. The Calicut airport that is a small airport. And the even cab in Calicut, the hotels in Calicut, that is not at par with the IT standard or the IT ecosystem. So, see, by the end of 2026, the development of National Highway 66, the work is going on. The total 678 kilometers. Out of 678 kilometers, 6 reaches are already completed. That is small stretches. And the balance stretches, the work is progressing. Where the design speed is 120 kilometer speed, 6 lane with both sides, either side we will get service road of minimum 6.25 meters. So the road connectivity will be good by the end of 2026 from Kasaragod, the Karnataka border to the end Tamil Nadu border, Trivandrum. Second thing, the development of the extension of RESA in Calicut Airport. After the work is already awarded and I think the survey work is already started. And within 1 year, that area will be developed and we are expecting the wide body aircrafts. So then the air connectivity will be solved. Then see the Calicut city's position. The distance from Calicut city to airport almost 25 kilometers. From Calicut to Kannur airport 80 kilometers. From Calicut to Cochin airport 180 kilometers. Once the road is ready with the design speed of 120 kilometers, we can anywhere drive 100 kilometers. So within 180 kilometers, we have Cochin airport, we have Coimbatore airport, we have Calicut airport, we have Kannur airport. So why I mentioned Coimbatore airport? National Highway is already announced, the tender process is on for the Calicut-Kozhikode Greenfield Highway. The completion, the tenure they have given 30 months. So another within 3 years, so we'll get a connectivity from Calicut to Palakkad 4-lane road. So the connectivity issues will be solved anyway within 4 or 5 years. Calicut is the right place to invest. And Kerala is, the Vizhinjam port is the partially commissioned. So the giants of the business people will definitely come to search opportunities in Kerala because the roads are ready, the airports are ready, and the railways, we have 𝗂𝗵𝗃𝗀𝗃 train. So many positive things is happening. And talent pool, 2 days back, one American company, they are searching for talents in Calicut. One of my colleagues, Mr. Sanish, accompanied them. They visited 5 colleges. After she wrote a positive letter to America, and now they almost ready to take around 35,000 square feet in our park. So this is the positive thing happening in Calicut.
I think this has been the happiest takeaway so far from this seminar. Very happy to hear that. And you're giving a very short time frame, 2026. And also the overview that within 180 kilometers, somebody in Calicut has 4 airports, Cochin, Kozhikode, Kannur, and Coimbatore. This would be sweet music to any industrialist businessman's ears. Let me ask you, Sujiv, all of this, yes, but today, when a new generation looks at a place to stay and work and live, certainly cleanliness, hygiene, all have play a major part, particularly if they are exposed. Most of our youth now study in Sweden and New Zealand and Canada and wherever, US. So with the kind of unhygienic situations around, this is not seemingly a good place, first look. And we call ourselves God's own country. And we have this terrible heap of absolutely obnoxious stuff lying around. Calicut is now on the cusp of a takeoff. How can we create awareness? I mean, Keralites are supposedly well-informed, well-read, exposed to the world. What should a city like this, which is just getting ready to the next level of growth, know and understand and do to have a clean environment?
I think I'll share two perspectives. Keeping in mind the youngsters. The first one, what Mr. Kishore mentioned. I think if we want to create more opportunities for people to be here rather than migrating to some other part, first thing the colleges need to do is skilling based on demand. And exactly what he mentioned, whether it is Asian Paints or the other company that came, there is a need. There's a specific skill a company requires. If the colleges here and the managements can focus skilling based on the demand, the employment rate will go much higher. Most of the governments across India, they run generic programs, some in healthcare, some in IT. Generic programs doesn't yield much. So if you do a need-based skilling, it works. Second one, this is a slightly different perspective, and this applies to students, also experienced people. In today's world, one of the important things to enhance employability is their ability to build social capital. When I say social capital, it is how well they can communicate what they have done as part of a project or their skills to a bigger group. For example, if working professionals are able to build connects through LinkedIn, through many of these portals, they're able to share the value that they created. For example, one of the things Mr. Kishore also mentioned and Mr. 𝗵𝗲 also mentioned, connectivity to Kozhikode is going to change in the next few months. In terms of entrepreneurs, there's a lot of entrepreneurial spirit, but it's one or two people doing doesn't help. But if the employees or the prospects can able to share the value they created, if you take an entrepreneur, what was the learnings from the entrepreneur? What went well, what did not go, and just put something. There will be many people, especially the younger generation, the millennials, the Gen Zs, who will understand, and they are very interested to know what worked, what did not work. They want to know what was successful, what was not successful. That's number one. Second, I think more of industrial associations. The connect between academia industry and the government, and many industry associations. See, for example, a forum like this, there are so many people who have come, they hear from experts, and probably when they have tea or dinner, they network, they exchange cards, and new relationships get built. So again, we are building our social capital. So again, thanks to the organizers of this event, they brought this and they created this forum where all of us can build a little bit of social capital. So I think we need to leverage technology, leverage partnerships, leverage learnings and failures, and do that digitally. And that will really make the change.
That's a morale booster for us for organizing this. We'll have time for just one more round with all of these gentlemen. Let me ask you if, looking forward for Kozhikode and Malabar, since you're in the infrastructure sector, India is, mostly infrastructure means government. We never think of letting private sector do anything on its own. We talk about an airport, it's immediately government. We talk about a highway, it's only NHAI, nobody else. So we can't wish that away overnight. But since you're working with the government always, what would you like, say, the local bodies, should they change? What changes do you wish to see going forward from the government in letting you do your work?
I'll give you one example. So normally for our projects, we approach Nationalized Bank for getting fund. But that will take normally 3 months to 6 months. So 6 months, we have to wait for the fund. but developing 6 roads in Calicut. So that was in 2016. We actually normally, that's a big project. 600 and actually we compete with IL and FS. They got 1,285 and we got that work 649 crores. I think 653 crores. So it's a huge difference. Actually, we saved huge money for government at that time. So for that project, we approached the district cooperative bank getting fund. So we asked them, please call the primary cooperative bank for getting fund. See, within 14 days, we got enough fund with the help of 31 primary cooperative bank. So 6 months minus 14 days. So we saved almost huge day, huge time, and we completed that project before time and we got 26 crores as bonus. So the money who invested, the primary cooperative bank, so actually their money, they invested for the national building, rebuilding. So that is the beauty of that project. And see, that is a model project. So actually the cleaning and the street lighting, everything doing by us only. So second thing, your question. Suppose government announce a project. So there are so many things. Sir is sitting, sir is the chairman of RERA. And suppose we are going to make a building. There are so many procedures. We have to apply the permission to local self-government department, municipalities or panchayats or corporation. So request them to keep the timeline. So then we can save so many things. We can complete the work on time or before time. Normally this is not happening. So many delays happening. But see, we are working with National Highway Authority of India. Suppose we submit our bill, so anyway we'll get that bill cleared within 14 days. So that is the difference between some departments and the NHI. So if the projects the authority wanted to complete within time frame, so there should be a single window system. So that help the authority, the construction or the contractor to complete that project on time.
So a single window that actually is a single window.
Sir, what is happening? So suppose you enter in a single window, there are so many windows. That is the issue. So because please close the other windows, we need only one window.
That's a good catchphrase for the day. Please open only one window and close the other windows. And let the entrepreneurs do that through the single window. 𝗵𝗵, let me ask you your last question. When we're talking about future, it has to be about young people and talent. And you see different companies across sectors. By the way, let me just, I forgot in the initial stage to mention that here is a man whose company is completing 99 years this year and we centenary next year. 𝗵𝗵, he heads the Malabar Chamber of Commerce, which is 95 years old. So between them, these two have about 200 years of experience. They are two institutions. So over 95 years, you've seen, not you, but your institution has seen all these companies come and go, and they all work with human capital, right? So, and we keep talking about industry, academy, collaboration and all that. What one thing at least should happen for this to be a reality? Because we're only talking. Colleges have their functioning. We know that Silicon Valley happened only because Stanford is there. And abroad, most of the cases are like that. Mr. Kurian was just telling me that our own Technopark started because the Kerala University's Kariyavatam campus was there. So we also have small examples, but what should happen for industry to get people it needs?
Basically, our education system is not at all flexible. These universities, see, when we interact with the universities and colleges, there is no student-centric approach at all. Everything is for teachers and the staff. Whole planning is how, if you want to change something, how much teachers workload, or how it will affect the workload or employment opportunities or their promotion or whatever. Very rarely think about students. That system has to change. And it's very difficult to change the current, all politicized, this university, trade unionism. Now we are not actually facing the trade union issue in the street. Loading and unloading and all, that's all old story. Now it's more or less, some exceptional cases there is issues, but generally all that is sorted out. Now biggest trade union issue we are facing in the colleges and universities and educational institutions. They are not flexible to students' need and the world is changing.
What about government? They also trade
Yeah, government also. Yeah, government's about this government and
Can you play education institution alone?
Government since we are talking about education institution, yeah, other area is improved, but government and all the government sectors is same thing, and that has to change. But we are not expecting it to happen overnight. Now what we are planning with the support of digital university in IT segment, 2 segments we are concentrating. IT with the support of digital university, there are ICT academy, district administration. So we can give add-on courses. We are next 29th we are calling with the support of collector is calling a meeting of college principals. We are bringing industry experts and checking the syllabus and finding out what is lacking to get them ready for the industry need. And creating courses with the support of Digital University and ICT Academy to bridge that gap and giving that students as an add-on. Then there is no academic council, board of studies, interference, nothing is there. Add-on, there is no legal issue restrictions. And we are starting with that. And
I think you hit the nail on the head when you said, in India, in Kerala, universities function for teachers, staff, for the college, not for
students.
the students.
Yeah.
Not for the students. Point taken. Last question to 𝗂𝗵𝗲 and then we'll wind up. My question is, in today's world, the biggest the biggest resource is human resource. So countries are actually fighting for talent. Countries, corporates, everybody is fighting for talent. We don't seem to realize what talent is. And we are happy to lose talent. Recently, I had lunch with a US big corp chairman. I won't take his name, but just to give you a clue, the Emirates has 300 aircraft. This man's company has 700 aircraft. You probably can guess. I mean, so big. He's from Tiruvanaanthapuram, studied in Tiruvanaanthapuram, raised in Tiruvanaanthapuram. He is a Trivandrum boy. Now heads one of the world's largest corporates. But we don't even know we've lost a talent like that. We don't care. We are happy for people to go abroad and send us those $100 here or 200 dirhams here. Why is our outlook like this on talent? What can we possibly do to retain talent and to develop talent in India, in Kerala, in Malabar?
I think this is $1 million question. And I think all the panelists have alluded to this. I'll reiterate the point some time back I mentioned. Today, everything is online. You and I cannot do anything. I think we have to do it together. One, the individual has to position the value he or she can create because it's an international market. And how will people know somebody from Kozhikode? Probably through their social profile. So leveraging that from an individual perspective, very important. Second, what can the governments do? The governments have actually built a lot of sector skill councils. For example, there's a textile sector skill council. There's an aerospace sector skill council. The industries can work with these sector skill councils to create specific courses that are relevant to the industry in the respective districts and states. That will make a big difference. And third, there are so many untapped sectors. People just want to become engineers and doctors. But I'll tell you today, there are so many sectors unexplored, untouched. For example, pharma. For example, taxation. And of course, the most important area, ESG. Now, I think we have to create awareness. Every college, every academic institutions have to catch students, youth, young, probably in 7, 8, 9, 10 classes. Talk to them about the career options. That support, or that has to be added by the respective schools and colleges. And we have to create an ecosystem beyond what we imagine today. So beyond textiles, beyond IT, beyond spices, probably there are many more areas. And that's what we need to explore. It has to be a combination. This problem cannot be solved by the government or by industry body or by employees. All of them have to come together. And that's where we'll be able to make real change.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, gentlemen. 𝗃𝗵𝗃 MA and 𝗂𝗵𝗲 𝗃𝗵𝗃𝗀. All of you spoke very well, and the final over batting was fantastic. Thank you.